Hey folks, it's Jim. We're going to go over a product that I picked up to help me with some versatility that I needed that the InnoGear couldn't provide, and that is we have to mount this somewhere that gets some sunlight. And the AYY 48 LED motion security light has a removable solar panel so that it's just connected on by this small cable here, and so we can mount this with the added cable 8 feet away from our location of where we want to put the light. So for carport sheds and things like that, it's a great alternative that gives us a good light production like the InnoGear 30 did. This claims to be more. I think it's about 10 to 15% more, but not that much. But it's the AYY 48 LED motion security light with removable solar panel that can be mounted 8 feet away. I'm going to compare it to the InnoGear 30 LED, which I think is the best product on the market in its class. And by what I compare all of these solar lights to, it just performs that well. And this light, I think, holds up against the InnoGear 30, although it is $5 more per light. These are $18.99, and you can get these for about $13.50 in the 4-pack. So, you know, take that into consideration. But let's get into the statistics. This is a 6-volt, 1.3 watt panel on the AYY, and the InnoGear is a 5.5 volt, 1.5 watt panel, which means we get an overall higher power factor with the InnoGear, right, 200 milliamps. But we get 6 volts on the higher efficiency cells of the smaller panel on the AYY, which I think will give it better low sunlight performance. Even though the panel looks smaller, it's still putting out almost the same amount of wattage. So our power factors are almost there. But the 6 volts, since we only need to put out 3.7 volts, will give us better low light performance, I believe, versus the 5.5 volt output of the InnoGear. Now, that is to be determined. I've only been able to run my tests for a short period of time since I've only owned this a couple of weeks. However, I put it through the same testing that I did on the InnoGear in low light performance, and it performed outstanding, equal to the InnoGear. The next thing is they're both IP65 waterproof. And the InnoGears have lasted me a year. Rain, sleet, snow, ice, freezing rain, the whole bit. Minus 30 degree F temperatures. This is to be determined, but it has had rain, snow, and minus 20 or 20 degree F temperatures. Nothing in the negatives yet. So we'll see how that goes next winter. But these have performed outstanding, and I own 8 of the InnoGears. That's why I compare all of these lights to the InnoGear. It is really an outstanding performer, and I think we have a good competitor here with more versatility with being able to load that solar light somewhere else. Next thing is they're 3.7 volt batteries, but this has a 3000 milliamp hour 18650 cell, where this has a 2200 milliamp hour cell. Now there's less LEDs in the InnoGear than there are the AYY. And here's a good point to talk about the timing circuit as well. The timing circuit, this light stays on longer once it's activated by motion, longer than the InnoGear. So if that's something that you're looking for, is a little more lighting time when activated, that's something you may want to consider spending a little extra money for this, not just the versatility of the removable panel, but the fact that the lighting circuit is a little longer. Hopefully InnoGear will increase that lighting circuit to 30 seconds, like many others in the class. Sorry about that, my cell phone. Let's move on to there. So we got a 3000 milliamp hour battery, a little greater battery than the InnoGear. But the InnoGear does use has less LEDs, and its timing circuit is shorter, so it doesn't need that great of a battery. This performs outstanding, just the way it is. So I'm hoping that this performs at least equal to the InnoGear. And so far, my low light testing over a week with snow, cloudy, partly cloudy, fully cloudy, and 2 days only of full sun through an entire week, this performed outstanding. just like my InnoGear test did. And again, that's only with half-day sun, by the way, because I loaded it under an eave of a carport where it only gets half-day sun. That's how I test for low-light conditions. And this performed outstanding, just like the InnoGears. So now they claim to be 750 lumens versus the 450 lumens of the InnoGear. I'm going to say this is maybe 10% greater light output than the InnoGear. It's not that much. It may have to do with the diamond plate of the covering the LEDs versus the clear plate that covers the InnoGear's LEDs. And the InnoGears are spread out more, as you can see. The LEDs are spread over a greater range. These are more tightly compact 48 LEDs. So that may have some performance factor as well. But the lighting of this is a little greater. That's what I'll say. Okay, now motion sensors. 20 to 50 feet is what I'm getting out of the InnoGears and this. This is slightly better in its response. It's a little quicker responsiveness, and that may be because it's newer, whereas these are a year-old sensor, and these are new sensors. That may be the only thing. And again, atmospheric conditions affect this type of sensor, so no one be aware of that. And again, the timing circuit. If you need the light to stay on a little longer when activated by the motion sensor, this is the light for you. This light only stays on about 20 seconds. This stays on 30 seconds. I find this sufficient enough time for me. But I like the added 10 seconds that the AYY gives us. The next thing is the modes. There are 3 modes of operation. One advantage in the modes is your mode button is right here on the AYY. Whereas on the InnoGear, it's on the switch in the back, right in here. So you do have to take this down to change modes, whereas this, you can change modes right where it sits. Very nice feature also, and hopefully that remains waterproof. I will continue to do updates and let you know that. The advantages, removable panel, so we have greater ability to place this in different locations, carports, sheds, other things that wouldn't normally get light. Whereas the InnoGear, our panel is attached, so we're limited on our locations, right? And one of the advantages to the InnoGear, which I've talked about before, is a USB port charger, so you can ensure an initial full charge. I wish all of the manufacturers of this style of solar light would put in a micro USB charger so you can at least ensure you get a first initial charge. But that also gives the InnoGear an advantage for an emergency lighting application too. Whereas this, if it's fully charged, it's going to work, but you can't charge it if you run it out via USB. It's just not going to happen. So definite advantage InnoGear. The switches are both easy. And I'm going to give this a good thumbs up for sheds and other lighting needs that the InnoGear wouldn't meet. And I think it's a well-built product too. If you purchase one, you'll see that. It just seems to be, overall, the quality seems to be really good. And I'm liking it so far. I'm probably going to buy another one. But I really prefer the InnoGears if I can get away with their application ability, just because the cost factor is about $5 less. But this serves a nice purpose and need. Overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It has compared very well alongside the InnoGear, and its performance has been outstanding thus far. And I really think we're going to get some good low light performance out of it as well. And again, if you need a little more lighting time, the AYY is the way to go, because you're getting that full 30 seconds, whereas the InnoGear is about 20 seconds. So that's just something to think about as well. And the other thing is cost. Think about cost. I think quality comparisons are pretty much equal, and I think performance will be equal as well too. So anyway, new product, AYY 48 LED motion solar security light. Excellent with removable solar panel, so it gives us more mounting versatility. So anyway, Jim out.